Hello and welcome to Revive Your Soul. My name's Elizabeth Goddard. In this video I wanted to discuss how the narcissist, how the emotional abuser views sex. In other videos I've described this as a game, you not having the rules to it. So how does the narcissist see and how does the narcissist view sex? The narcissist believes they own everything. So if it isn't nailed down, it's theirs. They even believe that they own you. They will continue after the relationship is over to monitor you if they feel they've let something go that very possibly they shouldn't have done, or that was a bit more valuable than, say, some of the other short relationships. The narcissist and the emotional abuser view sex as a manipulation tool. It's something that they can use to gain attention, to get their supply of attention, to fill up on attention. Emotional abusers are very dangerous, and sex to them is a form of trauma bonding, keeping you bonded in a relationship and something that they can use to gain power and gain control of you and your life. You trust them, you've put your trust in this relationship, and they take and you give, and they take and you give. And at some point you might think, well, hang on a minute, when's somebody going to give back to me? But this is a one-sided relationship. You're bonding to them, they're not bonding to you. Bonding is a chemical reaction, it's a hormone release within the body. It's a trust in another person, being able to turn to them, to rely on them. Unfortunately, in this scenario, in this situation, in this relationship, the person that you're putting your trust into is actually the person who's abusing you. The bonding releases a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is a double-edged sword. It is released when we bond with someone. When we experience any form of trauma, it's also released, and it ingrains the memory, it ingrains the emotion around that trauma. So coming out of a relationship with a narcissist or an emotional abuser, there's going to be a lot of trauma bonding. If your response is disproportionate to the relationship, it's more than likely you were trauma bonded. And there are varying degrees. We're all different. We all experience things differently. You believed you were soulmates, they told you were soulmates, but once they've got you hooked up, once they've got you addicted to this drug, they've got you addicted and trauma bonded, they then move on. Particularly if you're not a really good source of supply. If they've drawn everything out of you, they will move away and they'll go and find somebody else to replace you. More than likely, there'll be someone in between before they move on. A lot of people are saying that the narcissist is asexual. What they enjoy is the attention that it gives them. The supply it gives them, what they get from it. It's not actually the act. They are your drug of choice, and you'll do anything to stay in that relationship. And the sexual experience is exactly the same as a cycle of abuse. It's the love bombing, devaluation, discard, love bombing, devaluation, discard. And this is happening with sex as well. And it leaves you at the end of a relationship wondering what the hell you did wrong, because they've actually trained you to do that. Wondering what is wrong with you and why you're not attractive. But these are asexual people. Their interest was purely filling up their needs, their insecurities, their holes, their wounds. They need the attention. It's done for attention. It's done for supply. It wasn't done for any other reason than a purpose to fulfill them, to validate them. And you're the one left picking up the pieces, wondering what the hell you did wrong. You did nothing wrong apart from trust somebody who was untrustworthy. You did nothing wrong. There are so many people in so many walks of life, you know, that have experienced this. They don't want to talk about their experiences. They feel stupid. They feel duped. It's a bit like admitting to replying or to one of those chain mails that you're a beneficiary somewhere along the line. You know, it's that sort of, how did I get caught up in that? How did I not see? But this was a game, and they put on a mask and they play the character that they thought you wanted them to be, the one that got them the most attention. So it might be the only time in your life that you've ever been seen and validated or felt in that way. And then it turns out to be a lie, and you're left wondering, you know, all these questions and believing it's all your fault. This is about going inside, finding where your wounds are, healing those wounds, finding why you've never felt valued, finding out why perhaps you don't fit in. What did they see in you? Because these are very, very clever people. They know how to spot people, they know the questions to ask, and they know how to manipulate. These are very clever people. They saw something amazing in you. So the original thing I was trying to answer was how the narcissist or the emotional abuser views sex. They see it as a means to get attention. They see it as a means to gain praise. They see it as a way of being validated. But there was no connection. They cannot connect on an emotional level. And you possibly thought they were. But if you go back over and think about it, if it's not too traumatic, try it and see the patterns and see how it played out. And one of the things that you might be feeling is how you ever trust someone again, how you'd ever let somebody touch you or be intimate with you again. But I promise you, if you go and do this healing, if you go and do this inner child work, find the wounds and make it your mission to heal those parts, those missing parts, or reclaim back those missing parts. This was a game to them. You committed. They don't have the ability. They're stunted. They don't have the ability to commit to anything. So I completely understand if you're still stuck in that cycle, you're still trying to find answers, still believing it's all your fault. I really understand how deep that runs and how painful it is. Oh, I'm going to send you loads and loads of love.